Hello! Are you live? Oh.
No, you're live.
Am I live? Of course I'm alive. What, are people filing in? Because if they don't file in, then there's no sense.
Yeah, there is. We can always post it later.
Well, I'll wait a little bit if people are gonna, if there's a few people coming in.
Robert Pirtle just joined.
Robert Pirtle. How's it going, man?
He waved.
Was he in the other video? No. It's out walking the dog or something.
Skating the dog.
Skating the dog. How many people?
7.
Yeah, it's probably going to be all there is.
Okay.
All right, so I just filmed 2 videos of me rambling on about end grain and Lámhógs and then turning the outside and starting the inside. So looked for the other videos. So it took me a while to hollow all the way down there, and I remember why I switched over to the electric lathe after doing this. But you know, we're using this hook to all the way down, and it has a little bit of an angle on it as it's scrolled around so that it grabs the end grain. And so you can see it's kind of how I gauge how deep it is. And this should be about, end grain should be about, you know, 1/4 inch, between 1/4 inch and 3/8. 5/16 for those that use the empirical is going to be probably a good thickness. If you're using oil and things like that to finish. With the lacquer, we're able to do a thinner bottom because it completely seals the wood and hardens. But the next stage is I've tapered this core, a long taper, and then I have this side wind cutter or side cutter. So it's designed to come in sideways and sever the core off down at the bottom. End grain is really strong. Wood is really strong in longitudinal form, and so early on I would twist it out of the bottom and pop, and I would look through and there'd be a hole. So I realized that I needed to cut it down to a small diameter. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually reduce this nub a little bit too, so I don't have to cut it off with a saw and carve it down. I'll turn it down to a pretty small little nub real quick here. And then I'm going to go over, once I sever it, then I'm going to go over it and work the handle down, and so you guys can see how I carve the handle. Those little, I don't need those. There's no sawdust coming out of it like that. So, cut that. Burning my knuckles on the, there we go. You can start to see it wobbling. But this wood is really strong, so I'm not going to try to break, I'm still not going to pull it, I'm going to still try to cut it because I'm afraid to, oof, that didn't go as planned. If I try to twist it, I'm going to probably twist the bottom right off, so I didn't want that to happen. I'll try it a little bit more. Maybe I can.
You can get a hook tool in there.
No. I have a. So we can come over here. Just don't want to twist it. Yeah, you can see this. This is even moving a little bit. Sometimes this happens with this dog leg. Oop, that won't make it either. This is embarrassing. I'll just carve it down a little bit with this gouge or this chisel. Like I said, I would rather turn it, but this wood is so fast grown and so strong that I'm afraid if I twist it, I will just pull the bottom right out. So I don't want to do that, especially after spending so much time getting the shape just nice. It just kind of shows you how strong end grain is too. Until I devised that tool, this is how I did it. And that's kind of the problem with these really tall vessels too. You gotta have special tools. So I can fix that up real quick. First off, I'm gonna just saw the bottom off. It's a little bit aggressive, that saw. And use a spoon carving hook to hollow the underside. You want it to sit good on the table. This tool, I think I can get, nope, it's this one. You won't be able to see, but I'm going to run that in and spin. The telltale sign of a pull lathe turned. object. So the next thing is the handle. So you want to make sure that that's coming straight out, not crooked. I just usually eyeball it. So rip saw. Wheel. Stringy. And then last is carving this down. And like I said in the last video, sometimes I would do this before finishing, doing the finish pass in turning, and then I will turn right up to the finish handle. I started doing that a little bit later. The early ones I would just chisel like this. Maybe the handles are too low, I think. And I have these templates that I made for laying out these handles. And drilling. I'm gonna get a drill. So I use these Forstner bits, they cut the best. It's nice to have something backing it. They cut a nice clean hole. I use a smaller one for down here. I've had this one for like 10 years, so it doesn't cut a very clean hole. And then lastly, this knife has been a little bit abused.
What kind of knife is it, Jarrod?
This is a mortar knife, 106 mortar knife. I'm gonna put my glasses on. Last little bit down here. It's pretty good. Most of the time I use the bandsaw for this, but
How do you use the bandsaw?
you prop it on you put it on a block,
okay.
and then you run the whole block through. Run this down. Just maybe one more.
Gonna need to plug this in.
You do?
Yeah,
How much time you got left?
it's 10%.
Okay, yeah, we're okay. Almost done. So that's how I make the Lámhóg, and all handled vessels for that matter. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and someday you give it a go yourself. I'm just chamfering the handle here. I like to do the handle carving while it's still green, because once it's dry, it's a lot more likely that you break the handle off trying to do the finish work. It's good.
Ta-da. Cheers.
See you next time.
Yeah. The wood most common in the original ones was willow. Someone just asked that question.
Oh, you're still recording?
Yeah. Okay. Okay, bye everybody.
See ya.